The work of this drone was kept secret for months. American, experimental, and already it can be asserted extremely effective.
According to information, between 11 and 14 book systems were disabled.
This drone is absolutely impervious to Russian electronic warfare systems, and soon all the occupiers will know about its unique shape.
On one hand, it is a copter, and on the other hand, it seems to have the ability to transition and move in another direction, like most likely a small airplane.
The American drone VBAT, as it turns out, has been operating on the Ukrainian battlefield since June. But it has only now become known, all thanks to an interview with Brandon Singh, the head of Shield AI, the company that actually developed this UAV. It turned out that the VBAT was sent to Ukraine to undergo testing in real combat conditions and to assess the drone's resistance to Russian electronic warfare systems. The VBAT is a new advanced American reconnaissance drone. Its specific goal is to replace another American drone, the Textron RQ-7 Shadow. However, it's not that simple. The drone now flying in Ukraine is merely a contender and one of the options for replacement. Perhaps this is precisely why the developers sent the drone to Ukraine, simply to prove to the Pentagon that their design is better than all the others. However, such use of the Ukrainian front operates in a strategic manner to our advantage, especially considering that the American VBAT has already significantly unnerved the occupiers. The VBAT weighs 56.5 kilograms, of which 11 are payload. Its range is estimated at almost 500 kilometers, and it can stay airborne for about 10 hours. But the main feature of the American model is its vertical takeoff and landing. This remarkable innovation allows the drone to effortlessly soar into the sky and safely land on tiny clearings or even in urban areas with dense construction in various environments.
It is a fixed-wing drone. It has vertical takeoff and landing. The drone takes off straight up, switches to another wing, and flies like an airplane for up to 8 hours. When it returns, it switches back to hover mode and lands vertically on the ground.
Its autonomy deserves special attention. The drone's highly advanced reconnaissance capabilities are provided by a powerful electro-optical station with an extremely sensitive thermal imaging sensor. Artificial intelligence is used for target detection and recognition.
I believe the VBAT crews will change the modern battlefield. After observing the work of the VBAT drone teams, I believe that the main advantage for the US and its allies is that the conducted operations have proven an operator is capable of controlling at least 5 UAVs. Their flight paths are never pre-planned by humans. They are always generated autonomously in real time. The drone reads the situation and responds to it without the involvement of a human operator. In addition to choosing the route, the drone must be able to independently, without an operator, carry out missions from start to finish.
The American drone, in fact, is not some kind of innovation. However, due to a combination of technological solutions, it is currently one of the best options.
In the drone itself, there's nothing fundamentally new anymore. Well, it's hard to come up with something. The engines are being improved, the frames are being improved, and individual elements are being improved. But the main thing here is the optics itself, and the mathematics itself, and the presence of communication channels that cannot be disrupted by other means. That is, it's digital communication, and that's, well, very important. It's like a combination of various technological solutions that allows achieving such high efficiency.
And VBAT is already changing the battlefield. All thanks to their complete immunity to electronic warfare systems.
Our guys who are on the front line say that if you're flying a PV, you first have to get past our line when flying towards the orcs, then get past the orcs, and only after that can you operate. Well, that is the Russian electronic warfare systems, like ours, work very powerfully. And this is a serious problem for both sides. But the Americans said that this matter doesn't really concern us much. We have artificial intelligence, we have machine vision, we have a targeting system. We can capture what we see. We have reliable signal transmission through encrypted communication channels. Everything will be fine.
And it turned out not only well, but also very painful for the Russians.
According to various information, between 11 and 14 book systems were put out of action. This is a serious anti-aircraft missile system that does not allow us, and did not allow us in some places, to approach closer than 40 kilometers to the line of combat engagement. Therefore, the hopes for this American device are very positive, good, and we expect new results and new defeats of anti-aircraft missile systems and all other Russian assets that strike our territory.
As we can judge, the VBAT has already become an invaluable assistant to the Ukrainian defenders in such a short period of time. It is extremely compact, easily transportable, and does not require many people for its deployment. Moreover, its modular system allows it to be equipped with various sensors and equipment, which makes it possible to adapt the VBAT for different missions.
The VBAT allows operation in conditions where GPS is unavailable, using a situational assessment system that is formed without GPS, instead utilizing combined information from sensors to create a real picture of the situation. As a former drone operator, I can say VBAT teams are the new standard by which all other autonomous systems will be evaluated.
The American is already a perfect drone, but it can become even better. According to Brandon Sung, the next step will be integrating missiles into the drone itself. Agree, this will be a truly explosive improvement. And when that happens, we will definitely tell you and hopefully show you how the occupiers suffer from it. So, like this video, comment on what you think about the American drone, and be sure to subscribe to our new Arsenal channel so you don't miss all the most interesting things. The link will be in the description below the video. On January 18, 2024, drones attack an oil depot in the Leningrad region. 3 days later, on January 21st, drones strike again in the Leningrad region. This time, the drones target the oil terminal facilities of Ust-Luga, owned by Novatek. Both targets were hit, and both by drones of Ukrainian manufacture. It seems no longer surprising. However, these are the first drones in the Leningrad region. Ukrainian combat drones have not covered such a distance before. The fact that the explosions near St. Petersburg were caused by Ukrainian drones was confirmed by Ukraine's Minister for Strategic Industries, Alexander Aitais Kamishin.
This is made in Ukraine. Yes, last night we hit the target and this thing flew exactly 1,250 kilometers. Last night.
The news about such long-range weaponry is indeed already gratifying.
The distance to the target in a straight line is between 700 and 900 kilometers. In order to bypass the nodes of the Russian air defense and various threatening directions, while Mostakat, the Atmay's shortest such trajectory should be about 1,200 kilometers. This indicates that we have such long-range capabilities and that they can effectively bypass Russian air defense systems and strike planned enemy targets.
Ukrainian combat drones have seriously frightened the deep rear of the Russians. The Kremlin regime is already having to spend millions on protection against drones. Yeah, however, even that won't help much.
There it is, the S-300. I served on one of those. They are setting them up all over around St. Petersburg. So guys, let's get ready.
What kind of drones are capable of this and how many of them are there in Ukraine? All about this and more in just a moment.
But does Ukraine need drones that can hit targets 1,000 kilometers away? Of course, yes. But yes, because we have Crimea, which needs to be liberated. We have certain illegal structures built in Crimea, which again have no chance of existing. So it's just a matter of time before such equipment is likely to be used.
For several months now, Ukrainian production has been ramping up its capabilities. Our defenders now have access to dozens, if not hundreds, of different drones. Underwater, surface, ground, kamikaze drones, reconnaissance, long range, and others. All of them allow for more effective destruction of the enemy on the battlefield, and importantly, the opponent and their military targets deep in the rear. Which specific drones attack the Leningrad region is unknown. Ukrainian developers are racing against themselves. As a result, domestic drones are increasing in number almost every day.
According to Ukroboronprom employees, their development will become multifunctional. The drone can be used both as a kamikaze and as a reconnaissance strike unit. And in the case of using the drone as a scout with a payload capacity of 50 kilograms, the main threat to it will be the enemy's electronic warfare systems. But Ukrainian engineers know how to counter even the most advanced Russian radar warfare systems.
The drone must be equipped with certain data transmission systems, which, in the modern world, have a satellite nature. In fact, the most stable communication channels in this case are satellite technologies. But even without this, relay systems can provide adequate radio coverage, allowing the drone to operate far away and under the influence of enemy electronic warfare.
But it's not only the state that has taken up the development of combat drones. Private companies have also made an undeniable contribution to the destruction of enemy stockpiles. For example, the Ukrainian company Terminal Autonomy. The engineers of this enterprise have developed and even set up production of kamikaze drones AQ-400 Skid or KOSA drones. The company is capable of producing 500 such loitering munitions monthly. Roughly speaking, it's like an Iranian Shahed. Their purpose and capabilities are similar. The developers claim a flight range of 750 kilometers for the KOSA. Its takeoff weight is 100 kilograms, of which 32 are payload. The payload can be increased to 70 kilograms, but then the flight range would have to be sacrificed. The speed of the KOSA is 144 kilometers per hour, with a range of 6.5 hours. The price of such a drone is about $15,000.
When we talk about a drone, the price may seem high to some extent and low to another, but every drone, especially at the moment, it is lost, saves someone's life. And the special feature of the drone is that it is robotics. Robotics is designed to reduce the human factor and to preserve human life. And when drones are lost on the battlefield, it's a good thing because it means we are not losing people.
The Scythe is not demanding about the launch site. It can be sent to fly and mow down the occupier's military targets either from a catapult or from a runway. However, some developers are looking for even simpler ways to launch, all to ensure that the combat bird increases its range and enhances its lethality. An innovation in the launch system was implemented, for example, by Ukrainian chemist Sergei Pipko. His drone begins its start with a rocket launch.
There's no need to assemble and disassemble a catapult. The launch can be carried out with a very short guide or even without a guide from a spot, for example, from the bed of a pickup or truck. Stopping for just a minute. It is possible to launch several drones per minute in a volley.
The drone specifications are unknown, as is its name. At the same time, it is possible that it is already operating deep behind enemy lines, which is far more important than any words. It would seem that Ukraine already has quite a few drones that instill fear in the invaders. However, in fairness, it should be said that any drone can eventually be shot down. The main thing is to figure out its weaknesses. And when there are dozens of long-range drones, figuring out which one is attacking today and consequently shooting it down becomes much more difficult. Therefore, new drones are extremely important for Ukraine, especially if these UAVs are designed based on new technologies, like in the Next Bird. This drone has not been officially presented yet, but it can already be said that it will be a new nightmare for Russian infrastructure. The highlight of this domestic weaponry is that this drone is jet-powered. The specifications are still unknown at this point. However, what can be said for sure is that these drones will be very powerful, and they have already successfully passed tests. And this in turn means that quite soon we will be able to see them in action, or to be more precise, not them, but the consequences they leave behind. But we will show and tell you about this, as well as about new weapons that help drive out Russian occupiers from Ukrainian territory. So, give this video a like, write about which weapons you would like to hear about in new episodes. And be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new episodes of Arsenal.